There's a moment, a specific, undeniable moment when everything shifts, when the fog clears and reality crashes in like a wave she never saw coming. It's not loud, it's not dramatic. It happens in silence, in the stillness of an ordinary day, when she finally understands what she had and what she threw away. If you've ever been the good man who walked away, or if you're watching someone realize too late what they lost, then you already know this moment exists. And today we're going to walk through exactly when it happens, why it happens, and what goes through her mind when she finally sees the truth. If something in this message resonates with you, if you've lived this story or you're living it right now, drop a comment below. Sometimes just acknowledging the truth is the first step to understanding it, and trust me, what comes next will explain everything you've been wondering about. She doesn't realize it immediately. That's the thing most people don't understand. When a good man walks away, when he finally closes the door after months or years of trying, after giving everything he had, she doesn't wake up the next morning with regret. She doesn't cry the first night. She doesn't panic in the first week. At first, she feels relief, freedom, like a weight has been lifted. She tells herself she made the right choice. She tells her friends he wasn't right for her anyway. She scrolls through social media, she goes out with friends, she keeps herself busy, and she convinces herself that she's fine, that she's better off, that she dodged a bullet. But then it happens. Weeks pass, maybe months, and one day, in a moment she least expects, something breaks through. It could be seeing a couple laugh together in a way that feels genuine. It could be a song on the radio that reminds her of something he used to do. It could be a random Tuesday afternoon when she's sitting alone in her apartment and realizes she has no one to call, no one who would drop everything just to hear her voice. The realization doesn't come all at once. It seeps in slowly like water through cracks in a dam. And when it finally breaks, it breaks completely. That's the exact moment. The moment she realizes she didn't just lose a boyfriend or a partner. She lost a good man. And good men don't come back. The shift begins with small observations. Little details she didn't pay attention to when he was there. She starts to notice the men around her. The ones she's dating now. The ones who message her. The ones who show interest. And something feels off. Something feels hollow. They don't text her good morning without being asked. They don't remember the small thing she mentioned in passing. They don't check in on her when she's had a rough day. They don't make plans more than a few hours in advance. They don't ask about her family, her dreams, her fears. They don't show up when it's inconvenient for them. And slowly, painfully, she starts to compare. She starts to remember the man she let go, the one who brought her coffee in the morning exactly how she liked it, the one who listened when she talked about her day, even when he was exhausted from his own, the one who defended her when others didn't, the one who stayed patient when she was difficult, the one who built a future in his mind that included her in every single detail. She remembers the way he looked at her, not with lust, not with possession, but with genuine care, like she mattered, like her happiness was his priority, like he saw her, truly saw her, in ways no one else ever had. And that's when the ache begins, that hollow feeling in her chest that wasn't there before, the regret that keeps her awake at 3 a.m, the questions that have no answers. Why didn't I see it? Why didn't I appreciate him? Why did I take him for granted? Here's where it gets brutal. She starts comparing every new man to him, every date, every conversation, every interaction, and nothing measures up. Nothing even comes close. The new guy is charming, sure, but he's inconsistent. He says he'll call and doesn't. He makes promises he doesn't keep. He's exciting, but unreliable. He gives her attention when he feels like it, not when she needs it. Or maybe the new guy is stable, but emotionally unavailable. He's there physically, but distant in every way that matters. He doesn't ask the deep questions. He doesn't want to know her beyond the surface. He's content with shallow. and she realizes now that she's been starving for depth. She thinks about the good man she lost, the one who was both exciting and stable, the one who showed up every single time without being asked, the one who didn't play games because he was too mature for that, the one who didn't need to prove anything because his actions spoke louder than any words ever could. And the worst part, she knows he's not coming back. She knows that good men, real men, don't wait around forever. They don't beg. They don't chase women who don't want them. They move on with dignity, and when they do, they mean it. The door doesn't reopen. The chapter doesn't get rewritten. She realizes that while she was out there looking for something better, something more exciting, something that felt like the movies, she already had the real thing. And she destroyed it with her own hands. This is the moment that shatters her completely. When she sees him with someone else, or when she hears through mutual friends that he's happy, that he's thriving, that he's building a life with someone who actually appreciates him. She watches from a distance, maybe through social media, maybe through stories people tell, and she sees him smiling in a way he used to smile with her. She sees him giving his energy, his time, his love to someone else, someone who didn't take him for granted, someone who saw his value from day one, and it destroys her. Because in that moment, the fantasy dies. The fantasy that maybe one day he'd come back, that maybe he still thought about her, that maybe she still had a chance. All of it crumbles when she realizes he's genuinely moved on, that he's not sitting around heartbroken and waiting for her to change her mind. He's living his life, and he's doing it without her. She sees the woman he's with now, and whether she admits it or not, she knows that woman is getting the version of him she took for granted. The version that plans thoughtful dates, that listens without judgment, that shows up consistently, that builds rather than destroys. The version she had access to and threw away. This is the moment the regret becomes unbearable. Because it's no longer theoretical, it's real. He's gone, and he's not coming back. 3 a.m. hits differently when regret is your only companion. She lies awake, staring at the ceiling, replaying every moment, every conversation, every choice she made that led to this. She thinks about the times he tried to talk to her about their relationship and she dismissed him. The times he asked for more effort and she told him he was being too needy. The times he expressed his feelings and she made him feel weak for having them. The times he planned something special and she barely acknowledged it. She remembers the look in his eyes the last time they spoke. The exhaustion, the defeat, the quiet acceptance that he had given everything he had, and it still wasn't enough for her. She remembers the moment he stopped fighting for them, not because he stopped loving her, but because he finally started loving himself enough to walk away. And now, in the silence of her bedroom, she would give anything to have one more conversation, one more chance to do it right, one more opportunity to show him that she finally gets it, that she finally understands, that she finally sees his value. But the phone stays silent. The messages go unanswered if she even has the courage to send them, because deep down she knows. Good men don't give 3rd and 4th and 5th chances. Good men know their worth, and once they walk away for good. The tragedy of this moment, the real heartbreak, is that all the lessons she needed to learn she's learning now, after he's gone, after it's too late. She finally understands that consistency is more valuable than excitement, that a man who shows up every day is rarer than a man who shows up intensely for a week and disappears for a month. She finally appreciates the boring stability she once complained about, the predictability she found mundane, the routine she thought was limiting her. She realizes now that he wasn't boring. The relationship wasn't stale. She was ungrateful. She was chasing a fantasy while holding a reality that most people spend their entire lives searching for. She understands now that real love isn't fireworks every single day. It's someone choosing you over and over, even when it's difficult. It's someone staying patient when you're hard to love. It's someone building a life with you brick by brick, not just talking about dreams, but actually making them happen. She sees now that emotional availability isn't weakness, that a man who communicates his feelings isn't less masculine, that vulnerability is actually the strongest thing a man can offer. And she rejected it. She punished him for being open, for being honest, for being real. All these lessons crash into her at once, and the weight of them is almost unbearable. Because what's the point of learning them now? What's the point of finally understanding when the person who deserved that understanding is gone? For some women, this moment comes months later. For others, it's years. But eventually the regret becomes too heavy to carry alone. She decides to reach out. Maybe it's a text message that she rewrites 17 times before hitting send. Maybe it's a phone call at midnight fueled by wine and nostalgia. Maybe it's a message on social media that she deletes and rewrites and deletes again. And when she finally does it, when she finally admits that she was wrong, that she misses him, that she finally understands what she had, one of three things happens. He doesn't respond. The message sits there, read or unread, and the silence is deafening. It tells her everything she needs to know. He's moved on, he's healed, he's closed that chapter completely, and while it destroys her, it's also the answer she needed. The closure she didn't give him, he's giving to himself by not responding. Or he responds, but it's different. The warmth is gone, the familiarity is gone. He's polite, maybe even kind but distant. He's no longer the man who would drop everything for her. He's no longer emotionally invested. He's no longer available in the way he once was. And that distance, that shift, confirms what she feared most. She really did lose him. Or worst of all, he responds with honesty. He tells her that he's happy now, that he's in a better place, that leaving was the best decision he ever made, that he hopes she finds what she's looking for, but it won't be with him. And those words, as gentle as they might be, cut deeper than silence ever could. This moment changes her, whether she wants it to or not, whether she admits it or not. Losing a good man leaves a mark that doesn't fade. She'll carry this lesson into every relationship that comes after. She'll compare every new partner to the one she lost. And chances are, no one will quite measure up. She'll become one of two women. Either she'll learn from this and become the kind of partner who never takes a good man for granted again. She'll recognize value when she sees it. She'll appreciate consistency. She'll honor effort. She'll protect real love when she finds it. Or she'll become bitter. She'll tell herself that all men are the same, that good men don't exist, that she was right to let him go. She'll rewrite history in her mind to protect her ego. She'll convince herself that he wasn't that great anyway, that the relationship was flawed, that she deserves better, and she'll spend the rest of her life chasing something that was already in her hands. But deep down in the quiet moments when she's alone and honest with herself, she'll know the truth. She had something real, something rare, something most people search their entire lives for. And she let it slip through her fingers. Here's what she finally understands, too late but undeniably clear. Good men are not common. They're not waiting on every corner. They're not easy to find. And they're even harder to keep if you don't recognize their value. A good man doesn't announce himself. He doesn't brag about his loyalty, his consistency, his character. He simply lives it. He shows up, he stays patient, he loves deeply, he invests fully. And when he's finally had enough, when he's finally given all he can give and realizes it's not appreciated, he leaves quietly, with dignity, with his head held high. And when a good man leaves, he doesn't look back. Not because he's cold or heartless, but because he knows his worth. He knows that he deserves someone who sees him, appreciates him, chooses him every single day without hesitation. The women who recognize this early, who appreciate a good man while they have him, Those are the women who build lasting love. The women who take it for granted, who assume he'll always be there, who test his patience until it breaks. Those are the women who learn this lesson the hardest way possible. You already know this story because you've lived it. You gave everything. You showed up. You tried. You communicated. You planned. You cared. And it still wasn't enough. Not because you weren't enough, but because she wasn't ready to see your value. And here's what you need to know. Walking away was the right choice. Choosing yourself was the right choice. Not everyone will appreciate what you bring to the table, and that's not a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of their awareness. The right woman won't make you question your value. She won't take your consistency for granted. She won't confuse your stability with boring. She won't punish you for being emotionally available. She'll see what you offer and protect it, like the rare gift it is. So don't go back. Don't reopen that door. Don't let temporary loneliness convince you to return to someone who didn't appreciate you. You deserve someone who recognizes a good man when she has one, and that woman exists. She's out there, and when you find her, or when she finds you, everything you went through will finally make sense. The exact moment she realizes she lost a good man is the moment she finally sees clearly. But by then, the good man has already moved on. He's already healing, he's already choosing himself, he's already building a life with someone who actually deserves him. And that's not cruel, that's not cold, that's just the natural consequence of taking someone for granted. That's what happens when you assume someone will always be there, will always forgive, will always wait. Good men don't wait forever. They give chances, they give time, they give effort, but eventually they give up. Not because they're weak, but because they're strong enough to walk away from what no longer serves them. If this resonates with you, if you've been that good man or you're watching someone realize too late what they lost, leave a comment. Share your story. Because sometimes knowing we're not alone in this experience is exactly what we need. And remember, the right person won't make you feel like you're too much or not enough. The right person will see your value from day one and never let you forget it. That's the difference between someone who loses a good man and someone who keeps one.